What's up, family? This is Juan J coming at you. I know it's late. But I want to come to you. I'm trying this new phone out. I'm not sure if it's clear. I don't have my computer. I probably need to get my computer. I think I should have got my computer first. With that said, it's good to be alive. It's been a busy week. A lot's been going on. I'm gonna deal with that Kanye piece for a hot second. I'm gonna also talk about that Bill Cosby piece for a hot second. And then I want to touch on the issue that we rarely touch on. In the community, and that is marriage. I've been dropping a little. Hey, what's up, Tara? I've been dropping little nuggets, little comments about marriage lately because I think that we don't deal with that. We just don't deal with that whole marriage piece like we should. But I'm gonna talk about marriage tonight because I think that a lot of people. Here it is. Let me be clear. I make no bones about this. I am a believer. I subscribe to the teachings of Jesus, period. So I'm going to extract a lot of my teachings from the scriptures. I do not, nor will I try to hold anybody else accountable to what I'm trying to say, because if you're not a subscriber to the teachings of Jesus, then that doesn't concern you. You have your own freedom of mind, freedom of expression. You're not held to this. But to those who say they are believers, when I come at you from a whole scripture perspective. So when I start talking about this whole marriage piece, this is going to deal with you. It's going to deal with me, my mistakes, the things I've learned from my marriage, my divorce. And most people feel like, once you made a mistake, you can't say nothing. But I'm just the opposite. I think if you've made a mistake and you've seen your error, then you're responsible for sharing with other people, and hopefully they don't make the same mistakes. So our problem is this: we got a lot of people out here, man, getting married and don't know what the hell they're doing. A lot of people out here getting married and they just it's like a photo op. They're trying to bring this whole "I got mine, you got yours" into a relationship that don't even exist. So look, if you got a little scripture in you, I'm gonna deal straight with Corinthians, 1 Corinthians 7 chapter. I'm gonna deal with that first couple of verses. And then I'm gonna go straight with this Bill Cosby piece, and I'm gonna deal with that Kanye piece. But I want to at least touch on the marriage piece because I posted something today, and I asked a question, and I said we got to deal with people who go to church, married people who go to church, and they're popular in the church, individuals. In their houses are in shambles at home. And that's a contradiction. How you gonna be so popular in your church? You praying and you fasting and you spend all Mondays and Tuesdays and Sundays and Fridays and every day in your house is in shambles at home, and you think that you're good. You're not good. So look, let me deal with this. 1 Corinthians 7:1 says this: "Now concerning the things whereof you wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman." Let me stop right there. Look here, brothers. If you're single, the best thing you can do is don't touch these females. You know why? Because once you touch them, you're obligated to spend some time with them. So when Paul said, don't touch him, and that's vice versa for the females, don't touch the males. Because once you start touching these people, they going to demand your time. When you start sleeping with people, they demand time. There's no way around it. So to avoid all this time that you got to share with these people, stop touching these females. Men, don't touch these females. Females, don't touch these guys. I'm just saying what Paul said. Again, if you're a believer, then we subscribe to the believer's piece. If you don't, it's not on you. But I'm a believer, so I'm telling you what Paul said. Now concerning things where you wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Period. If you say you are a believer, don't touch these females. Don't even put yourself in that situation. If you're female, don't touch these dudes. You want to avoid fornication? Don't touch them. And we're going on no dates. You say, well, what are you supposed to do? If you start touching them, you're going to start sleeping with them. When you start sleeping with them, guess what? They're going to demand time. Okay? You figure that out. Verse number 2 says this. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Period. Paul just implemented monogamy. At this time in the Corinthian church, there was a lot of polygamy going on. Every man has their own woman, and every woman has their own man. Period. There's no way around that. But if you don't have your own wife, if you don't have your own husband, guess what? Don't touch him. Just don't touch him. I can't get no clearer than that. Let me go to verse 3. Let the husband render unto the wife due benefits, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. Let me stop right there. One of the reasons why we're having the divorce rate is so high inside the black community and all these single people, is because people are getting married and still being individuals. Why would you get married just to hang out with your boys and your sisterhood? One of the biggest reasons why folks are getting divorced is because they don't spend no time with each other. You spend all your time in church. Females, they really believe that, they land before the Lord, they're doing what pastors say, and, they own every auxiliary and don't spend no time with their husband. None. Husbands out here hanging out with the boys. Why y'all get married? Why did you get married if you're going to hang out? You should never get married. Your wife demands time from you. Your husband demands time from you. They didn't get together for you to be hanging out with your crew or to be hanging out in the church all day. Matter of fact, God puts more, he has more respect for the marriage piece than you hanging in the church all day in the service and not spending no time with your husband. Ain't no scripture for that. And the husband ain't spending no time with his wife. You cannot convince me. I dare anybody show me where God is happy that you're spending more time at the church than you are with your husband and your wife. Anybody. I dare anybody to show me where you lined up. Ain't nowhere in the world he's called you to be. Let me keep reading, because I think that a lot of people, we get into these relationships, we get into these marriages, and we don't understand what we get into. Watch this. The 4th verse says this. The wife hath not power of her own body, but the husband. Likewise, also the husband hath not power of his own body, but the wife. Stop right there. Hold on. Defraud ye not. No. Before I get to the 5th one, let me do that 4th one. As a husband and wife, Wives, you don't have no power over your body. Period. Husbands, you don't have no power over your body. Period. Okay? If she wants some, you get to give her some whenever she wants it. If he wants some, you got to give him some whenever he wants it. And let me tell you why you do that. Let me tell you why. We're living in an age where you don't know what your husband going through all day. Them females coming to him all day. Or better yet, husbands, these males are coming at your female, your wife all day. So when she come home, or when he come home, and he say, baby, I need you right now. You can't be like this. I got a headache. I can't do it right now. Because a lot of these relationships are breaking up these days because we don't put our men or these women on. We're going to do it 3 times out the week, certain time of the day, and not taking into consideration that both parties are under attack. And when he says, I need you right now, he means drop what you're doing, drop them panties, drop that dress, and give him some. That's your wife. Same thing for the male. If she said, baby, I need you right now, you need to put down the wrench, stop cutting the grass, and go in there and serve your wife. Your body does not belong to you. His body does not belong to himself. Render unto your wives and to your husbands due benevolence. What's that mean? Time. One of the biggest reasons why blacks, people, couples, marriages are being divorced because of time. They got time for everything else. They hang out with everybody else. They hang out with their girlfriends and the brothers, and their frats and their sorors and their lodge brothers, and nobody is spending time with one another. No time. If you wanted to remain with your girlfriends or your boyfriends, you want to still hang out with them, why'd you get married? Why would you get married and still want to hang out with your crew? When that man married you, he married you because he wanted to spend time with you. When that female married you because she wanted to spend time with you, she wanted to learn you. He wanted to learn you. You can't learn about each other when y'all out doing your own thing. Who the hell does that? Give your woman, give your man the time they deserve. And nobody's never told you. I'm telling you right now. Your husband, your wife wants time. Wants time. Again, I'm gonna read this again. And this don't apply to you if you don't subscribe to the teachings of Jesus. This don't apply to you. You do what the hell you want. I'm talking about those folks who say they are biblical. I'm gonna read this again. The 4th verse. No, the 3rd verse. That the husband render unto the wife. This is 1 Corinthians 7th chapter, starting at the 1st verse. I'm on the 3rd verse right now. That the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. What is that? Give them the time they deserve. There's nothing more important in that church, at that bar, at that soror gathering, at that frat gathering, at that Masonic gathering. It's nothing more important than your wife or your husband. Period. Let me say it again. There's nothing more important in the sight of Elohim, Jehovah, than your wife, outside of the gift of the Holy Ghost. You want to check me? Check me. Anybody check me right now? Nothing's more important. Our families are being destroyed because we're trying to keep up with our friends who are not happy. Our friends are not happy. And they want to destroy your relationship. They see a happy marriage. They want you to be unhappy like they're unhappy. You ain't got to listen to him. You ain't got to listen to him. Or better yet, he got to listen to you. But that's not what the scripture says. Your body don't belong to you, male or female, if you subscribe to the scriptures. Let me read this. Let me keep on reading. The wife have not power of her own body, but the husband. And likewise also the husband have not power of his own body, but the wife. So when I tell you, you can't put your husband or your wife on some schedule. Because if he's catching, if females are coming at him all day, or if males are coming at your wives all day, when they get home and they tell you, I need you right now. I need you right now. You need to satisfy your wife and satisfy your husband. Are we clear? Are we clear? All this, I got to pray. No, you ain't got to pray. You got to get in this bed. I'm on a fast. Oh, you're not on a fast. You need to get in this bed. Either way. Let me keep reading because y'all think I'm lying. Y'all think you can't make this up. They don't talk about this no more in the church. It says, the fifth verse says this, defraud ye not one another, except it be with consent. Don't steal. Don't rob from one another, except it be with consent, that you may give yourself to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your. My glass is going bad. Okay. What is that saying? Look, for real, wives, husbands, wives, you really can't even go on a fast. You can't even really do no fast unless you get permission from your husband. Do you see that? I mean, I'm not making this up. Some of y'all think because you're making more money that you can do what you want to do. But when you marry that man, you marry the man. He is the head. He is the head of the house, not a suggestion. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care how many degrees you got. That man is the head. You do not own your body. He does not own his body. His body is yours and your body is his. And when he said he wants some, you give it to him. And if you don't like what I'm saying, take it up with God. That's the scriptures. Okay? Defraud you not one another. How does the Living Version say it? The Living Version says it this way. For a girl who marries no longer has full right to her body. For her husband then has his rights to it. And in the same way, the husband no longer has full rights to his body, for it belongs also to his wife. So do not refuse these rights to each other. The only exception in this rule would be the agreement of both husband and wife to refrain from the rights of marriage for a limited time so that they can give themselves to more completely to prayer. Afterwards, they should come together again so that Satan won't be able to tempt them because of their lack of self-control. Family, We all looking for instructions. We're all trying to figure this thing out. But we're trying to figure it out outside of the scriptures. I'm going to say it once, and I'm going to say it again. The scriptures are sufficient. Now, you may have problems with a lot of discrepancies in the word, and you may be a product of white male dominations, colonial Christianity, and you may be a product of black plantation preaching. But I ain't touching I'm not a black plantation preacher, number one. And I refuse to acknowledge colonial Christianity. Okay? I'm doing straight what Jesus says. Not based on this slavery mentality that we've been accustomed to for the last 400 years since we've been inside this prison called America, which it is for us. The most oppressed people in the world is black folks. We the only one who've made oppression look good. The most oppressed. And I don't want to deviate from what I'm saying, because a lot of folks don't have this marriage piece down. I posted something the other day. I said, the only thing that's promised in marriage is togetherness. For sickness or health, richer or poor, you can be on top today, right now, as a single man or a single woman. I mean, you got your stuff in order, and then you get married and the bottom drop off. And you're like, what happened? Because some people go into this whole marriage piece with the mindset that, you know what, things get better. There's no promise that things will get better when you get married. It says for richer or for poor, sickness and in health. So what are we saying? The only real promise you have in marriage is togetherness. Think about it. Togetherness. That's the only promise you really have. That you're going to be together for the rest of y'all's life. And things get bad, guess what? This may get bad. If it gets good, it gets good. Let's pray for that. But if it gets bad, guess what? You signed up for that. This marriage is not a photo op. It's not a photo op. It's not bragging rights. It's work. As a matter of fact, I dare say this: you can get married today and have and next thing you know, the whole bottom fall out, and you stuck with that person. Why? Because people don't realize this. When you marry a male or female, you married the you married the mother that was in his life, or the father that was in his life, or the mother that wasn't there, or the father wasn't there. You married three people. The mom that was there, or the father wasn't there, or vice versa. And as a male, your job is to heal that woman. That's why you must spend time with that woman. And females, you must spend time with that man. You don't have time to rip and run the street. You don't have time to hang out with the girls. You don't have time for the happy hour. You need to be on the phone, baby. What's up? Where you at? You need something? I'm on my way home. I'm cooking some dinner. Or whatever arrangements that you guys have in this marriage piece. Okay? Because at the end of the day, sickness or in health, richer or poor. And we got people right here because they think that they can get married, things will get better. And I'm telling you right now, things don't necessarily get better when you get married. They don't. They don't. Don't get it twisted. They don't. So, I would challenge every person who claims or subscribe to being a believer to read 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter. I'm going to reread it again. I'm going to read it, the Living Version, because maybe some people can't go with the thousands of those. Is it now about those questions you asked in your last letter? My answer that you do not marry, my answer is that if you do not marry, it is good. But usually it is best to be married, each man having his own wife, each woman having their own husband, because otherwise you may fall into sin. What Paul is saying is this: at the end of the day, these ministries or these churches where you don't have marriages, you can have a whole lot of fornication going on. On the streets, we say you're going to have a whole lot of people getting slutted out. Yeah, you're going to have a whole lot of regular, just fornication. You're going to have a whole lot of it. If you're not seeing a whole lot of marriages, trust me, they're doing something. We may not be talking about it, but they're doing something. The man should give his wife all that the man should give his wife all that is her right as a married woman. That means whatever she asks for, you got to do. That's your wife. There's no way around it. And the wife should do the same for her husband. For a girl who marries no longer has full right to her own body. See, that goes against the National Organization of Women. That goes against America's teaching on democracy, or a woman's right and you do what you want to do. No, that goes against the grain. You don't have no right to your body, and he doesn't have no right to his body. It's just no way around that. So if you have an issue with what I'm saying, don't take it up with me. Take it upstairs. I'm just reading. That's if you subscribe to the scriptures. Okay? For a girl who marries no longer has full right to her own body, for her husband then has right to do it too, and in the same way the husband no longer has full right to his own body, for it belongs also to his wife. So do not refuse these rights to each other. Don't refuse your husband or your wife's advances. Look, you need to be kissing her in public. You need to be slobbing her down in the house. It needs to be a public spectacle. What's up, Kev? I'm saying, old school Kev in the house. My goodness. Look, some things our parents did not tell us coming up. Most of us get married and don't have no idea what to do next. We get married and don't know what to do. What we do next? We get married and don't and try to subscribe to this American way of doing things. It's not true, family. It's just not true. Again, I'm going to say this again. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it again. When you get married, you no longer have control of your body. Your husband owns your body, females, woman, and woman, and for the males, your husband, your wife owns your body. Are we clear with this? So please, family, please stop holding out on your husbands and your wives. I'm telling you right now, seeing a lot of divorces, a lot of broken families, a lot of shattered relationships, because we got a lot of selfishness. We got a lot of people feel like, you know what, I'm just too tired, I can't give him none, or I got to put him on the schedule, or I got to put her on the schedule. How you put your husband and wife on the schedule? That's not what the scripture says. Don't defraud your husband or your wife. If he wants something, you give him something when he wants it. If she wants something, you give her something when she wants it. Whenever she wants it. How often she wants it. There's no way around that. I know it's going down 9 o'clock. No, it's going down when that door open and I say, look here, because I'm not married, but when I get married, that person I marry, that's my body. And when I want it, period. And when you want me, you got me. Because we're not going to be out here like everybody else getting divorced because, you know what? They're not spending time with one another. They rather hang out with the boys or the girls and happy hours and that crazy stuff, or spend all their time in church. And that church piece, I'm telling you, churches have broken up more families. Churches and plantation preachers have broken up more families with this, it's your thing. You can do bad by yourself. That ain't even scripture. Do bad by yourself. So whatever happened to what Paul said in 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter? Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also what the wife unto the husband. Whatever happened to that? I'm telling you, these preachers out here have did no damage to the black community than the system of racism and white supremacy. The preachers, the plantation preachers, have did no damage to black families, to the black community, than I would say even now the system of white supremacy, of white male domination. Because they keep promoting this idea of, independence, individualism. I mean, think about what's going on. Think about what the women are saying. I don't need no man. I don't need him. All I need is Jesus. But that ain't true. I mean, even God sort of had him, was lonely. He said, it's not good for the man to be alone. Let me give him a help me. And they was walking together for, I don't know how long Adam and God was walking the earth before he saw, you know what, man, it's not good for him to be alone. I'm going to give him some help. But you fast forward to the 21st century, and the theme or the clarion call from the sisters these days is, you can do better. I can do bad by myself. I don't need no man. But the scripture says this. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own man, her own husband. Okay? Are we clear with that? And let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. And the wife have not power over her body, and likewise the husband doesn't have power on his body. I think a lot of marriages need to sit down and have some counseling. And stop trying to be like the world. Stop trying to be like what's going on out here with everybody else's, these bad, broken relationships. Okay? Because at the end of the day, I'm not a Democrat, nor am I a Republican. I'm an independent. At the end of the day, the scriptures are sufficient. Okay? So, I'm going to leave that topic right there. And now I'm going to deal with this Kanye West piece. I'm going from marriage to Kanye West. Who does that? I am. Look, I saw the video with Kanye. I saw the whole video. And black folks mad because Kanye made a comment about choice and slavery. And I made a little comment about, well, there was only two choices back then. Live free or die a slave. Most of our ancestors chose to die as slaves. Look, we're in the 21st century, right? And we still operate like we're slaves. People that mad at Kanye because he threw it out there about some choice piece. Well, think about it. I mean, think about it. I mean, how do you get mad when he's actually saying some things that you probably been thinking? You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, if you saw the whole interview, you would have saw the brother said this up. I ain't defending him because I don't really agree with him per se, but it's a good conversation piece. He said, look, he found something worth dying for. The man saw some universal love, loving your enemy, right? Universal love, loving your enemy. That's something black folks been doing since we've been here. Loving the enemy. Loving the enemy. Let me say it again. This is what Native African Americans have been doing since 1619. Because 2019 would be 400 years we've been in America. 1619 is the actual recorded year of our sojourn here in this country. So 400 years will be exactly next year. And we've been loving our enemy for the last 400 years. Let me say this again. Because we have a hard time saying that we have enemies. Because we want to love everybody. And I know we got some good white folks out there. I know some ones. But as a collective, they show us every year what they think about us. Every year. And they're still doing it to this day. We've gone from lynching to agents of the state murdering black folks in the street. They used to send postcards and letters and telegrams to come see the lynching. Now they got CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, and they broadcast it on every news station when one of us get killed. So we got high-tech lynching going on right now. Very high-tech. Same thing. It's just more refined now. And we just begin, that's why I don't post a whole lot of those stuff, a whole lot of those shootings, because the more you see it, the more desensitized you get to it. With that said, and we really have to we really have to start practicing. We really need to stop being selfish and think about our children. You know how your mom and your dad raised you. I know how my mom and dad raised me. And it was something they didn't share with me that I share with you guys. And we got to tell our children the truth. The whole truth. And nothing but the truth about this country. And how they've wronged us. And how we don't want that to happen to them or their children's children. We have to be honest with them. We have to. So, for all those that are mad at Kanye West and won't buy his records no more and believe he was out of order and everything, okay, that's your opinion. I mean, he ain't he's not the authority on history. For me, it's just a conversation piece because everybody's talking about it. But let me say this: I'm a baby of the '60s, and I talk about King, I talk about Malcolm, I talk about Ida B. Wells, I talk about Fannie Lou Hamer. Now, some 50 or 60 years ago. So imagine 50 years from now, your children, our children, will be talking about Kanye and Common and Kendrick Lamar and Meek Mills, because they keep feeding them rappers. So all we talk about is rappers. Rappers this, rappers that. Okay? And this is the voice of this generation, rappers. You watch what I tell you. In 50 years, they be talking about Kanye West. They can talk about everybody, but they wouldn't be talking about no King. They'll be talking about the Black Panther. Oh, did you guys see what I posted today on my video about the scene that was left out of the movie Black Panther? That sister, that bald-head warrior sister, y'all know she was married in the movie? See, everybody thought she wasn't married. She actually was married. And a lot of people thought she was gay. Peep that. Because, but she wasn't. She was married to the guy who played in the movie Get Out. They were husband and wife. I need you to look at this. Go to my page and look at that video that was edited out. They took that out of the movie Black Panther. Probably one of the most powerful scenes that probably would have did a lot for the black psyche, and they took it out. And and I wish I could pull up right now and let you hear it, because I think that uh, is I think that um, this country, white male dominant culture, is very sophisticated. And anything that would try to unify us as a people, they will not. They don't want to. They do not want to share that. They don't want to expose that. They don't want us to see that. And that one little scene that they took out was so powerful, so powerful. If you saw the movie Black Panther, when you see that, go back and see what I posted out. There was one the brother who was over the Rhino tribe, and that warrior sister who basically was the head of the guard. I didn't know they was even married. And she jumped on him about when my man Killmonger had beat T'Challa in that fight, and she was like, "You're his friend." It's like he was happy when he got beat up. And he let her know, "Look here, look, yeah, it's my friend, but he lost fair and square." She said, "But that's your friend." He said, "Look here, he promised he was going to bring that." Just look at the video, you'll see it. Just look at the video. Again, it's about black families, and I think that we don't see enough positive black families. Well, they're out there, but again, when you don't control the media, you don't control the images. All right. And let me, again, I don't want to talk too long. I think what I wanted to share is what I shared, and that was about that marriage piece, a little bit on the Kanye. I don't really want to touch the Bill Cosby piece right now. I'm just very disturbed about that. I know my feelings about that. But again, I'm not going to hold you guys long. I just wanted to, again, just talk to you, share, open up, and give you my thoughts on this whole marriage piece. Because I'm seeing just too many marriages being destroyed because people are not putting time with their spouses. They're making in the streets, and their relationships are going down the hill because they're not spending time together. And if you say you're a believer, then you are obligated to spend time with your spouse. Period. There's no other person more important than your spouse. Period. Spend time with your spouse. Make time with your spouse. Play some pinochle. Play some bidwits. Play some spades. Play some Monopoly. I don't know. Go to Haynes Point. Just spend some time with your spouse. I mean, you got married to spend time, so spend some time with your spouse, with your partner, not with the church, not with your sisters in church, or with the deacon board or sister board. Okay. And I'm gonna leave it right there, family. Again, I'm sorry late, and I'm gonna try to do better and get back with you earlier. But remember this also: the person who you see when you date is not the same person when you marry them. I'm going to say it again. The person who you see when you're dating is not the same person when you marry them. Because when you marry them, you see everything about them. Prior to the marriage, they showed you basically what they want you to see. That goes for male and female. That's why I didn't say he or she. I said the person that you date is not normally the person that you marry. You see that representative. I'm going to go on record right now. I'm going to tell you right now. This one right here, I'm selfish. That's probably why I'm not married, because I'm a very selfish person. When I say selfish, I want things done my way, period. And I don't want to budge right now. I'm too focused, too locked in. And I know that if I start getting involved with people in relationships, they're going to demand your time. And I don't have that right now. So why even entertain relationships when you know you don't have the time? You're being disingenuous. So I'm not going to put myself or put another person in a situation where they want time from you that you can't give them. until I see some things come to, because watch this. Let me say this. Because once you get into a marriage, once you say I do, some of these dreams and aspirations you be trying to pursue, you may have to put on. You may not be able to pursue them no more, because now it could affect the other spouse. It could affect them. It's one thing when you're single, you can do what you want. You don't have no restrictions, but when you're married, you don't have those restrictions. You have to commit yourself to that woman, to that man. There's no way around that. And if you're not willing to commit yourself to that woman, to that man, don't get married. If you're not willing to commit yourself to that woman or to that man in everything you do, not some things. And let me go ahead and tell you this. In my marriage or in marriage, Jim, it ain't 50-50. It's 52-48. I don't care how much money you bring to the table. Look, if you subscribe to the scriptures, there's an order in everything. The sun rules the day and the moon rules the night. It is not 50-50. It's 52-48. 52-48. Care what nobody say. Okay? Now look, 48 ain't bad because you're still majority partner. And if I'm going to mess up, I'd rather mess up with my wife. And if she's going to cheat and she's going to mess up, then at least I'm doing it with my wife. You know what I'm saying? Just think about that. You know, I mean, but it's not even. It's not equal. It's 52-48 or 51-49. And the man makes the last decision. I didn't make this up. We're trying to bring 21st century standards to a first century belief system. I'm going to say this again. You're trying to bring 21st century standards to a first century belief system. It ain't changed. Again, I would encourage all my married people that's watching, who's considering marriage, to look at 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter, and just read that. And you're going to see that your body don't belong to you. It belongs to him or her. Period. And when they want you, whenever they want you, you cannot say no. You just can't. And if you don't like that, take it up with the Creator. I didn't write it. But if you subscribe to the scriptures, then you must obey the scriptures. Not some of the stuff, all of it. Okay? So again, I think everybody, anybody want to say something, they can chime in. If you want to come in, I'll bring you in. You can even you can debate me if you want to, but just show me something. Show me some facts. Back up what you're saying. I don't know what you believe. So I'm coming to you with the scriptures. I'm not coming with you with my belief. I'm reading right to you. I'm gonna read it again. Folks just got here. 7:1, 1 Corinthians. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Let me say it again. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Look, family, if we are saying we're believers, then we have some standards. We have a book that we must abide by. Okay? Let me keep on reading. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. What's that saying? Give your man, give your woman as much time as they desire. Period. Not your girlfriends, not your boyfriends, not your frats, not your soras, There's nothing more important than that man you married or that woman you married. And if he's hurt or she's hurt, then it's the husband's job to heal that woman. Okay? It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Somebody got to do it. Okay? So if you sign up for marriage, your body no longer belongs to you. It belongs to him. You can't be in church all day, every day. You got to be home with that man or that woman. You can't be at your meetings. You just can't. Okay? So look, I am going to bring this to a close. Again, apologize for coming on late. But I'm going to get better. And this new phone, I have no idea about the quality of this video. So I hope you guys can see me. I normally use an iPhone when I come on. I'm using an Android. It looks kind of fuzzy. So, but I thank everybody for tuning in. If you want to say something, you can. Again, I'm gonna come back and deal with this topic because we got too many single family relationships out here, and everybody is just. I posted a video the other day about the 68 sanitation workers strike and how the women were supporting their husbands. About 1,400 women were supporting their husbands, and they stood by their husbands during this strike. And one woman made a comment in the video, what she say? She said, when they talked bad about my husband, they talked bad about me. And these days you don't see husbands and wives defending one another. People can say whatever they want in their mouths, and people are not even they ain't defending their husbands and wives. It's crazy. So again, family, look, if you have a husband or if you have a wife, let me be very clear. Spend some time with your husband and wife. Not going out here getting fried and then passed out and you think you're spending time. No, you sobering up. I'm talking about spend some quality time with your husband and your wife. That means even taking a break from that church or from that mosque or from that surah or from that job. Spend some time with your husband and your wife. Build your relationship. It's the most important union in the world as a husband and wife, and not you and your church. Okay? So look here, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Please share this video. Please share it. My battery about to go dead. It's all battery low on my phone. I'm going to repost it shortly. And again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. You can write me at juanjohn29@gmail.com. That's juanjohn29@gmail.com. You can still go to GoFundMe.com/real-talk. That's media facility. It's going to be up and running soon. So get on board right now before it gets hot. And remember, it's not how much you know, it's how much you care, family. Most of us know a whole lot, but we don't care. Again, thank you. Stay encouraged. God bless you. Talk to you soon. I'm out.